It was one of those gray afternoons when the sky looked like it, too, had given up. Cold wind swept across the city park, chasing away laughter, conversations, and life, except for one woman, sitting still on a bench as if the world had pressed pause. Her name was Claire. She clutched a crumpled tissue in one hand and a folded eviction notice in the other. Her cheeks were raw from tears, her eyes hollow from sleepless nights, and her heart, well, that had been broken long before she found herself alone on that bench. She wasn't homeless. Not yet. But close. One layoff, one late rent, one too many skipped meals to feed her teenage son, now away at school on a scholarship he didn't know she helped him get by pawning her wedding ring. Claire had always been the strong one. The helper. The one who cooked extra for neighbors and left anonymous groceries at the doorsteps of those who needed them more. But today, she had nothing left to give, not even hope. That was when she felt it. A soft weight pressed beside her. Tiny, like a whisper. Claire looked to her right and blinked. A little girl, maybe 7 or 8, had sat beside her. No words. Just presence. The girl had curly hair in wild tangles, shoes that didn't match, and a coat too big for her. Her hands were stuffed deep into her pockets, and she looked straight ahead at the empty fountain, kicking her legs lightly. Claire sniffled, unsure what to say. "Shouldn't you be with someone?" The girl shrugged. "Sometimes people just need someone to sit with them. You looked like you needed that." It hit Claire like a gentle punch, unexpected but impossible to ignore. She blinked away fresh tears, managing a weak smile. "That's really kind of you." The girl smiled back, wide and gap-toothed. "My mom says kindness doesn't need a reason. Just a heart." Claire nodded slowly, her eyes stinging for a different reason now. For several minutes, they sat in silence. And that silence did something strange. It stitched. It soothed. It softened the ache. Then the girl reached into her oversized coat and pulled out a crumpled granola bar. "You hungry?" Claire almost laughed, but not out of mockery, out of disbelief and warmth. She hadn't eaten all day, but more than that, she hadn't felt seen in weeks. And here was this little mismatched angel offering her half a granola bar like it was gold. "I can't take that from you," Claire whispered. "Yes, you can," the girl insisted, breaking it in two and handing over the bigger piece. "I already had one this morning. This one's for sharing." Claire took it. Not because she needed food, but because in that moment, she needed faith. Faith that the world still had good in it. They shared the granola bar in the cold. Claire told the girl about her son, how he was brilliant and kind and didn't know she'd skipped meals so he could chase dreams. The girl told Claire she liked stars and wanted to be an astronaut, because, up there, the world looks small and nobody is too broken to belong. Claire chuckled through tears. "That's beautiful." "I think you're beautiful," the girl said plainly. "Even when you cry." Claire didn't know what to say. She just reached out and held the girl's tiny hand. A few minutes later, a woman rushed over, breathless. "Sophie. There you are. You can't just wander off like that." The little girl turned. "I was helping." The woman looked at Claire, alarmed at first, but then her expression softened as she saw Claire's red eyes and the half-eaten granola wrapper. Claire stood up, embarrassed. "She's a kind soul." "She is," the woman said, placing a hand on Sophie's shoulder. "She lost her dad last year. Ever since, she's been noticing sadness like a radar. I'm sorry if she bothered you." "She didn't," Claire said quickly. "She reminded me that there's still kindness left. Even when the world feels cruel." The mother gave a small nod and smiled. "We need more people like her." As they walked away, Sophie turned and waved. "You're gonna be okay. You're not alone." Claire waved back, her heart strangely lighter. For the first time in a long time, she believed it. That night, Claire dug out an old notebook and began writing. Not just letters to her son, but stories, stories about kindness, about pain, about resilience. She started sharing them online anonymously. Within weeks, people responded. Strangers from all over messaged her saying her words gave them hope. Within months, one of her pieces was picked up by a magazine. Within a year, she had a modest income again, doing something she loved. And she never forgot the little girl who saw her when no one else did. Sometimes, Claire returned to that bench, not to cry, but to sit. In case someone else needed a stranger to remind them they weren't invisible. Because sometimes, the smallest souls carry the biggest light. And sometimes, healing begins not with answers, but with someone simply choosing to sit beside you.